What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte and his trainer, Mark Tibbs. Dillian Whyte states that him and Mark Tibbs, his trainer, will no longer be working together after 4 years ahead of the Alexander Povetkin fight. And this is what Dillian Whyte had to say. He says, just to let everyone know, Mark Tibbs and I are no longer working together as boxer and trainer. Okay? He says, I'm training in Portugal and Mark has a young family and his own new gym in the UK. It means it just hasn't worked out in the way we both hoped. Okay? Mark came into my team 4 years ago as he helped turn me into a world-class boxer that I am today. Mark is a great trainer, and I will always be grateful to him and his dad for all they have done. Wow, okay. Of course, Whyte's defense of the WBC interim title was originally scheduled for May 2nd, okay, because of the pandemic. They've changed it again, then they changed it again. Now it's August 22nd, so May 2nd to August 22nd. Now, the million-dollar question you ask yourself is, what is Whyte going to do now? You know, this is July, and I mean, he fights, or he's scheduled to fight next month. And, you know, he's been training in Portugal. You know, like he jumped in his car as 4 dogs and a partridge in a pear tree and drove, 3-4 countries over to get to Portugal, right? Italy, Spain, Portugal. Okay, and he's been out there kind of, in a reclused area. So this is not really telling me anything, though. You know, the true reason for, I think for this split up is just the distance. It's almost like dating somebody that's far away. It doesn't work out like you wanted it to. Unless you have, much patience. But, it's like, well, Mark has a young family and his own new gym in the UK. It means it hasn't worked out in the way we had both hoped. So I don't think it's really a big deal. The question is, will Mark Tibbs come back? And then this is a tester for Dillian Whyte. Is it the best time? Hell no. It's probably the worst time. Because what Mark Tibbs has taught him, hopefully he can carry that on and, use what he's taught in this particular experimental fight now. The reason I call it an experimental fight, because we don't know how he's going to fight or perform, rather, without Mark Tibbs. Okay, Mark Tibbs showed him everything he needs to know. And a lot of times when you're coaching a person, basically it's everything, a trainer versus a fighter. You're just reminding him of what you guys did. It's almost like, hey, let me jumpstart what we already trained. Remember he did this. Remember he did that. Remember we worked on that. We anticipated that. Those factors won't be there because Mark Tibbs won't be there. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's not horrible, but it's not good either. Okay? That's why we will know what Whyte or how Whyte will perform without Mark Tibbs. Now, I don't know who he'll bring in, but from the 22nd, now it's already the 8th. I don't know who he will decide to bring in or whatever. He looks, from what I can see, in pretty good shape. Okay, so to say the least, he has got himself back in the shape, during this corona period, and that's much I can say for some people. So that's good. But knowing everything they have worked through, I think it would have been, the conversation would be to have with Mark Tibbs, like, hey, I'm going to Portugal months ago. I need you to come to Portugal and help me train. So it's definitely some stuff that's not said. He's giving you like a synopsis of something, but it's not in the details of what really happened. Sure, they're in different places or whatever, but you got to question yourself, really, like, what really went on, that Mark Tibbs couldn't make it there. Safety, family. If that's the case, understood. If that's the primary reason, again, understood. But him saying we will no longer be working together, that lets me know that something else happened. You know what I mean? Like maybe they got into a argument or a misunderstanding while Dillian Whyte was trying to get him to Portugal. That's the only thing that I can really think of. You know, but 11 victories, you know what I'm saying? 4 years, 11 victories, and he shaped and molded him. The Whyte and Tibbs, it looks like a pretty good relationship, honestly. Look what happened to Manny Pacquiao after he left Freddie Roach. Yeah, he beat a lot of people, including myself, think he beat Jeff Horn, but guess what? He wasn't in the corner with Manny Pacquiao either, right? Freddie Roach wasn't. So, you know, a lot of things go without said. Hopefully these guys can reconcile in the future, unless Dillian Whyte has something else up his sleeve that, or someone that can help him get him past Povetkin. Hopefully he can overcome Povetkin, you know. But, you know, he's weary of Povetkin like he already informed us. So that's one of these situations where how wary are you of Povetkin, you know, deciding not to go to your trainer, because at some point he can't stay in Portugal. He's going to have to come back to the UK, right? So, you know, I think that was just one of the factors, again, of why these guys split up, you know. So we probably won't know the truth till probably after the victory or the loss. Okay, if it's a loss, you're probably more than likely are going to hear the reasons why, you know, Mark Tibbs and Dillian Whyte decided to part ways, you know. But anyway, this is like big news with these two. I hate to see any partnership, you know, dissolve, especially if it was successful. You know what I'm saying? I think of Triple G and Abel Sanchez. They had a great run. You know, Andre Rozier, Danny Jacobs had a great run, but it came to an end. You know, that's, again, you know, to put this in there, you have to respect fighters like Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather. You know, Mayweather and the Alvarez, because those guys have stayed consistent with who they've always been with. You know, Floyd had his uncle and his father, but then, you know, that's been the crew. Canelo with the Reynosos, that's a crew, you know. So it just makes you respect that type of consistency and dedication and loyalty when it comes to those type of guys, trainers / fighters. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Dillian Whyte parting ways with Mark Tibbs. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.